I hope they pick one or two things from the mini future. But what really is my takeaway from that is the issue of the ASU strike. Why would they go on strike? They had an agreement with government, and one will expect that government should adhere to its part of the bargain. When I was a very small boy, very, very small boy, there is this program, they call it the village headmaster, and there was one important character there. His language and his slogan is, a bargain is a bargain. Talan tolo, tololo, tala. What is the problem about keeping your own part of the bargain now? A worker deserves his pay. You are taking your own pay from government purse. You should give those who are working, in fact, to make your government more stable, their own part of their own bargain. Anyway, that's my own little intro to it. I have a team of guests here who are seasoned in their own right. To my immediate left, it's not that person than Mr. Paul Dada. Mr. Paul Dada is the deputy editor of the PM News, and immediately to his left again is Comrade Dr. Afolabi Bajumo. He's a human rights activist. I don't want to go more than that. By their voice, you know them. Gentlemen, you are welcome to the program.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
Let me start with Comrade Bajumo. This is, I guess, on this program, this is the first time I'll be hosting him.
Okay.
So let us give him the opportunity to take the first shot.
Yes, let me first commend the effort of this platform, Voters Forum, for the wonderful work you have been doing over decades that I've known you, Barrister Wale Okwade. It's a very commendable effort, and the Galaxy Television here. Having said that, the effects of cost of governance, the number one pathetic problem we are facing in this country is issue of misgovernance and diversion of public funds for personal interest of not only the politicians. I don't call them politicians again, I call them politicians, because when you don't follow your manifesto, you promise highfalutin promises for Nigerians, but when you get to power, you scandalize, you divert resources. But they are not alone in that game of diverting public funds at the expense of the voters. Who are the other comrades in the fraud? The civil servants. In fact, many of them are supposed to be called civil servants, with apology, because you are given the responsibility of being public servants. You turn yourself into public general. You are now superseding yourself on the voters that voted you into power. It is an eyesore. Now, when they get to power, you can even see somebody you were feeding in your area before. There was nobody that you are looking for job for him. Immediately become councillor, just councillor, local government, or chairman of the local government. You relocate from that locality. You'll be hearing he's now living in Banana Island, VGC, GRA, Kenya, and some other places. You understand? And they divert resources. How do you say it? How do you explain it? The ordinary chairman of a local government or governor of a state or the president of Nigeria does not even know the number of aides he have. You know, they have special, senior special assistant, personal assistant, secretary to secretary, personal secretary to secretary. Many of them, they don't even know. In fact, they don't even sit one-on-one with the president or governor or chairman of local government. And now you pay them humongous amount of money. What is the meaning of that? The effect is that you are diverting the money that ought to have been used for the benefit of the masses, to provide education, to provide health services, to provide agriculture, to provide science and technology, and what do you have? And good health for the people. But what they do, they divert the resources. Take for instance, when my late boss, one of their greatest comrades in the struggle, before he died, Chief Gani Fawehinmi, SAM of blessed memory, I was his senior personal assistant and executive secretary Gani Fawehinmi presidential campaign. Part of what we designed when he contested for the presidential election in this country in 2003, that was 22 years ago. I was his executive secretary Gani Fawehinmi presidential campaign. We have a manifesto that specifies, and you must sign an undertaking that you are now going to become senator under our platform. We give you free form from our own little resources. Look at how much they are collecting from PDP, APC, and what have you, millions What they are telling you as you are contesting other local government election they did this our Lagos 5 million for chairman to contest just paper piece of paper 5 million. Can a common man get that one? So in our own party there we give them free, and we make sure you are undertaking that when you get to government your children will be going to public schools, public primary health center and some other things in public. Not that you will now be diverting resources and be flying all over the world at the expense of the resources of the nation. That is diversion, and that is causing humongous impact on the resources of the nation, and that's why you see the effect of bad roads, bad hospitals, bad schools. Those are the effects of cost of governance, because when you have PA to PA and they are doing no responsibility, no anything, and you are paying them one cost more.
Comrade. You had him PA to PA.
And secretary to secretary.
He has elasticated it. I'm the great editor. What is your own take on this issue?
Actually, democracy is more expensive than military rule.
Yes.
But it's not also an excuse for
high cost.
High cost. Since the dawn of the civil rule, the return to civil rule, it's been getting progressively worse, although there have been efforts by this current administration to check certain things, but I'll come to that. In 2012, there was an Orosai report, and Orosai, at that time we had over 541 parastatals and agencies
of government.
And over 360 or so of them were statutory. So Orosai recommended that the statutory agencies be reduced to 161. This statutory, it meant that there had to be action of the parliament, that you had to rejig the laws so that you could be reduced. Nothing has been done about that significantly. It's been like that. I remember that Orosai specifically mentioned some agencies like the NTA, FRCN, and VON could be merged under a management. Of course, nothing has been done. Now, this particular administration, came up to say, look, government officials going for assignments abroad or within the country, the number of people in their entourage had to be reduced, all of that. But still, the cost of governance is still high. I don't see any reason why we need to have almost 50 ministers. Yes, we understand the federal character says there must be a minister from every state. We have 36 states, right? So why do we have over 40-something ministers? Close to 50 ministers. Why do we have minister of state for some ministers? For example, I do not see what the minister of state for the FCT is doing. You have you have a substantive minister, and then you have what? Minister of state. I don't see what that woman is doing, because Wike is doing virtually everything. I do not see the reason why we need a minister of state for defense, for example. You have a minister of defense. You have service chiefs doing their work. You have the national security advisor. All of them operating within the defense sector. Why do we need minister of state for defense? So you see that we are not able to free funds to do necessary things. And like he said, he made some very, very important points. Now, a situation where public office is like an investment. You are aspiring for a public office, and then you have to buy form in millions. That automatically means that you want to, whoever sponsored you to get the form is making an investment. There will be returns on, when you invest in something, there will be returns on investment. Big wigs are the people sponsoring the political parties. Unlike those days, the days of let's not even go to AG, go to the days of UPN, MPN. People were contributing their thorough kobo, their pennies. The Iyalojas, the traders, the regular people, contributing their pennies to sponsor the parties. But now, a politician, a governor, can single-handedly, a particular governor, former governor, was boasting that all the people that contested in his party for elected positions, he bought their forms. Where did he get the money from? So we Nigeria loses. We are just paying lip service to you know, reducing the cost of governance. People have praised this government for at least starting. People have praised this government for certain economic decisions. You know, we have better debt servicing. We have, you know, the foreign investors are having more confidence in Nigeria. But the problem is that all of those reforms have not cascaded down. People are not feeling the impact. We talk about university lecturers, for example. I mean, they should be the best paid workers because they are building lives. Like education is the engine room of the country. You understand? Now, every time ASUU is threatening to go on strike, agreements that have not been met, agreements that have been signed through the years. People that are supposed to spend, children are supposed to spend 4 years in school, 4 sessions in school, are spending 5 years. Those are supposed to spend 5 years to study with courses like law, are probably spending 6 years because of strike. And then you have doctors every time, especially resident doctors. Resident doctors have gone on strike, and resident doctors form the larger percentage of doctors who work in public hospitals. So I don't think we have this. There's no intention. There's no consistent, fervent intention to make sure that we make life easier for the people.
Yes, making life easier for the people. I'll start from you, then go back to the comrade. I want you to, the two of you, to look at these issues holistically. You have mentioned it, but I want you to now rub it in very well. The first one is large entourage. One of our respondents mentioned it.
Yeah.
The large entourage. And of course, these are not 200,000, 1 million naira, 2 million naira vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the cheapest vehicle in an entourage would not be less than 50 million.
Mm-hmm.
And you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, with the cost of fuel, the cost of logistics that follows, large entourage. Then the second one again is a large aids that they have. The comrade here was talking about aids to aids to aids to aids to aids, PA to PA.
Aids of aids.
Then what are the civil servants doing in the system? Because most of the time the aids that are brought in from outside are non-entities, and I have no apologies to that. Some of them have no next to nothing. They are just drafted because they are political hangers, people who just because they supported them in their electoral campaign and so on. Instead of them to support them, go back to school to earn some education, so to earn some knowledge. What they do is that they now impose them as aids, and of course those now begin to mess up. And in some cases now, those to use it to dig in and of course create themselves. So you now see that they say they are in the National House and the National Assembly, and there are many of them in the National Assembly who cannot even speak simple English, not to talk of parliamentary English.
Yeah.
So apart from that again, the next one is their humongous salary, which is even the bane and the main issue of high cost of governance.
Yeah. Let's begin by saying there's nothing wrong in bringing in technocrats.
These ones are not
I'm just coming. I get what you are saying. No, I'm coming. Let me just. No. I do not disagree with you. I'm just trying to.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong in bringing in technocrats from the private sector into governance. But you've just talked about all sorts of political jobbers, people who are just rewarded because they were very good. Organizers, they organize. Yes, talk with the package, and you see them, even the way they talk, the way they interact. Yeah, you just talk about civil service. Civil servants are professionals. For example, if an engineer in the civil service, the Ministry of Works, there are certain things you can handle, and you don't need somebody from outside. You understand, to come and start. Somebody who has nothing to do just because he's a friend of a politician and all that. Now, but you give them, and you must pay them. And some of these, in fact, what he said, I know some of these people. You employ this person to be your aide. The aide also employed aides.
Yes.
Now, because some of these people, they have interest some of these aides, they have impress to run their offices.
Yes.
So you need to pay those aides from that impress. And maybe that aide also has another aide. You know, it's not necessary. You can't free up funds to do what? To pay the lecturers. And they say there's no more. And to me, it looks like the only people who do not feel the biting effect of this economy are those in government, those who live in alternate reality. When they read out statistics, we've done this, we've done that. The average man, he has power on the selling market. What are you talking about?
Oga Rashid,
what are you saying? I still do not have food. I can barely feed myself 3 times in a day. I can barely. How many people from Nigerians they cannot send their children to the cheapest school? Some Nigerians, there are parents of very brilliant children who cannot afford to send their children to the university, not because the children are not brilliant. We're not talking of private schools. We're talking of public schools.
I'm sorry to cut you. When I was a small boy, I was still in the primary school. In very brilliant children, there is this scholarship board, and of course scholarships even within the system. Exactly. The principal will say yes, this is an indigent student. I will recommend such a child for scholarship. Does it still exist?
No, it doesn't.
I'm asking you particularly because you are a journalist. I will ask him too as an activist.
We don't have so much of that.
Why is it not so?
I think it's about I don't know. I think
can we attach it to this high cost?
Yes, because our values
now. What they do now, what they do now is, you remember when we were doing University Polytechnic, on the street of on the boards of your department, they will debate there. Faculty of Law or what have you, they need this scholarship. What those in government do now, they divert it to their own children and families and allocate all these things. Going to the indigent students that really need all these things.
You know the problem. There's a change in our value system.
Value, that's the gist.
In those days, you were valued based on your intellect, not based on how flamboyant you are. Now today you have someone who does not have anything in their head, riding big cars. Girls are chasing the person. In those days, if girls must chase you, you needed to be brilliant or to be good at sports. If you're not good at sports or you're not brilliant academically, girls will not chase you.
Okay.
But now you have 0 in your head, and then people are chasing you because you have some money you have stolen.
Yes. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll get cracking. And maybe just as I told you, the material is ready for us to blow our departed colleague. Don't go away. Our colleague, Biodun Aremu, aka Aremsin, who is the barricade general, as we call him, within our own circle. He got knocked by a vehicle and the guy ran away. But anyway, that's how God wants it, as we all have to submit to God. Comrade Biodun Aremu is, I won't say was, a great Nigerian, a Pan-Africanist, and a great hero of our time. He ensured that what we are discussing today, I don't know how Providence just made it possible, that coincidence that the topic we are having today about bad governance, that's what the man lived for, that there should be, the resources of this country should be used for the betterment of everyone. And it's unfortunate that he got cut short in the process. But be that as it may, my comrade, fellow comrade, Folabi Gbajumo is with me. He witnessed and he was in the thick of organizing the funeral arrangements for the late Aremsin.
Exactly.
Please lead us in within the next 5 minutes.
Biodun Aremsin, the barricade general, 1960 to 2025, is 5 years old, very agile, very active, very functional when it comes to struggle against bad governance. From military down to civilian that we have, he was part and parcel of the great people, Ganifa Wemi of blessed memory, Dr. Pekola Kuti, Shima Ubani, that fought the military to stand still for us to have democratic government. Many of us were detained, arrested, incarcerated, segregated,
tear gas,
and some other things. Do you know that Comrade Musbah was tear gas?
Yes.
Point blank on his
eyes.
There is no more seeing today. We well gathered. In fact, on Wednesday we gathered at here for a very big conference for him and tribute time. And the night of Wednesday we had a candle night. He was killed, assassinated by suspected person working for those people he has been fighting against, and we are still investigating.
No, he can't get away.
And yet, because our leader, Comrade Barrister Falana SAN, have written to the Commissioner of Police of the state, because that jurisdiction is of the state. The place is called Ijako Sugar Bus Stop. Ijako Sugar is in Sango-Ota along Lagos Abeokuta so-called express road. I call it Express Road. Express, not express. So it can be express. It was knocked down there, and now a lot of us were gathered without diverting resources of government as they used to do. It was not a rented car.
So what happened? What happened on
came from the Republic of Benin, Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Cuba, America, different countries, north and south of Nigeria, to come and honor the great Comrade Abiodun Aremu. And now we are now shifting our struggle to the governor of Ogun State. We are writing him officially. Coalition of NGOs, socialists, Marxists, and what have you. We have told him. His town where he part of the first of cost of governance. What we suffer, what your car suffered on the road to get to his house, because he's one of those who developed bush into a community, a town in that place. But go and see road from Ijako Sugar down to Alaka Field, down to the area where our communist house is.
Erosion. Is erosion.
In fact, if you don't know how to drive well,
you will get yourself into the gully.
And it is just off Lagos Abeokuta Express.
Just 5 minutes away.
So we are imploring our governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun. We are saying it. You yourself have issued the tribute to him.
We hope that tribute did not speak.
But he did not have the issue of finding out and apprehending the hit and run driver.
Comrade, we want that tribute to have effect. It's not just in writing.
The development of the community, the road construction must be done, Mr. Governor.
We'll bring a video next week.
The road construction of Ijako Sugar, where our community was killed, down to Alaka Field, into the communities there in Ukwe and what have you, should be rehabilitated with drainages. And on top of that, Lagos Abeokuta Express Road, whether it's federal road or state road, we don't want to know, because they should not tell us it's a state road. Because Lagos here is doing federal road and it has done bridges. So they should do a bridge at that Ijako.
The labor of Comrade Arem Sins will not be in vain.
And it will
Can you take it up from there?
Yeah, thank you very, very much. You know, when Arem Sin died, there are tributes, including tributes from politicians.
Till tomorrow.
Like, normally, the people that gathered to honor him, those are his people. That was an organic affection. I'm talking about what politicians do normally. When somebody like him died, of course, there was a statement from the president, a statement from the governor. But the way you can honor a man like that is to begin to do the things he fought for.
God bless you, sir.
It's not just to issue statements and wait till another person dies and issue another statement. We are used to statements.
Okay.
We are used to statements. What this man, Aremson, fought for the common man. He was a genuine activist. Not activists who use their platform to obnob with politicians and got appointments. You understand? And they have lost their fire. He was a consistent man. He was in the mold of Gani Fawayimi. I remember Gani Fawayimi. Obasanjo gave Gani Fawayimi a gift. If I remember very well, he rejected it. On principle.
Marwa to send some salad goods.
Exactly. And Gani Fawayimi will not only reject the gift, he will announce that he did picture
and put it on the press that this is what Marwa said to me.
When Abacha wanted to appoint him as Attorney General Minister for Justice,
and he will say it publicly.
Let's go
back to what I'm trying to say that I'm saying that it was in the mold of people like that who value journalists of this world.
Yes, Chima.
Yes, Chima. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was in there. It was not pseudo activists or not don't-quote activists. So we're talking about that man. It is. You see, when politicians honor people like that, I am ambivalent. I'm not necessarily impressed because what they just do is issue the normal statement issue for anybody who has died. And then who is more than that. What he fought for the common man. He could have enriched himself if he wanted to. He had all the opportunity to enrich himself. Probably if that man could have even chosen to go into public office and taken a position and start to try to say things that whatever they say now. But this man stood for something and he was very consistent. And the only way you can honor him is not just to issue statements. The only way you can honor him is to begin to do the things he stood for. Delivering good governance for the common man. And I think that beyond that also, people like Aremu should be included. They are not in history books, should be studied in secondary school.
Yes, about his principles.
Exactly.
Particularly, he belongs to the socialist camp.
Exactly.
And of course, the Amin Cabral school of political ideology.
And to number one way of implementing what Aremu represented is for Ogun State government to start constructing that road properly from
it's a shame to the government that community and they take tenement rate from them, they pay taxes, they are just neglected. We went there and it was an eyesore. We are going to bring the video of that place, and it is an eyesore. Did we say it together? Eyesore. It is a challenge, and I want to address what my brother Paul Dada said, that the tribute by the Ogun State governor should not be just that writing. The only way we can take that tribute, that indeed it is from his heart, is for him to move the machinery of government there to ensure that work commences in memory. Then we'll know that indeed the labor. That's one of our national the song of our the national anthem now. The laborers the man has labored. Yes. When we went there, you saw me when we were there. The man was saying, "No, this man fought for this for Nigeria, and that it does. This community should not. If people come, I was disappointed that this is a community that this man lived." And of course, it was another thing else.
Senator Sani was there.
So many great activists.
And that is why he didn't want to personalize. Do you know 9 years ago when we went to bury his mother? That we buried him 2 days ago beside his mother in his compound. When we went to bury his mother 9 years ago, I said, "Comrade Arem, this is the first time of knowing your house. The road is so bad like this. Let's start agitation to the Ogun government." He said, "My comrade, if you look as if I'm
fighting for myself,
that is comrade Aremu for you." But now, since he is dead, and the cause of his death is one of part of what you are discussing today, effect
and that's also another thing.
Diverting the resources of government, cost of governance. Because if cost of governance are reduced drastically, that road will be constructed. That road asking for this. The drainages. There will be pedestrian bridge. For now, Mr. Governor Ogun State, that pedestrian bridge should be
so
where our company was not.
Let us
safety bridge.
Look, that's it. It will be named after Rensin. No, definitely. I trust.
We are going to adopt that.
Let us give them notice. Hold on, please. Comrade Femi Falana, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, had given all the necessary notices, and it is in their hand to say, well, they didn't see it, but we are coming in full force. But we think it is better. Monday, the governor should use his executive power to move plants and machinery to that area to commence work. Then Japan Sugar, they know the place. They did the governor sense. The people know now.
They can stay there probably.
The community, they went there. I asked them now. The politician called here. He said
they will come and come.
They forget them. For this one, they will not forget. My own is that they wrote a tribute. that tribute should not be translated into reality.
Positive action for the people.
Positive action for the people. So that they will say, well, we thank God the death of Comrade RMC is not in vain and has brought this development to us. Paul Dada, please, in rounding up.
Yes,
we want to tie good cost of governance, removing all these high costs, so that there will be community development.
Yeah. See, the average Nigerian is not asking for too much.
We are not asking for too much.
Not every Nigerian wants to go to party. Not every Nigerian wants to do an one bed.
No.
Like a Nigerian just wants to have food on their table. No. Send their children to good schools.
How is only good schools? Let us see tractors in the village. Exactly. In the area. I did that.
Good education, transportation, and healthcare.
Coming back to you.
Being able to access basic healthcare. You'll be surprised that some people cannot buy paracetamol.
Yes.
I mean, these people in fact probably don't know this. To buy paracetamol for some people could be a problem. So people need to be able to access basic health care. Nigerians are not asking for, not everybody wants to become a councillor, not everybody wants to become a chairman.
Not because want to be a millionaire.
They want to feel secure.
Let us just have their,
so,
give us that daily bread.
There is no way this can be achieved. Let's not deceive ourselves. No matter what rhetoric we are pushing out there, there is no way it can be achieved if there is a high cost of governance. Because high cost of governance will blind those who are in authority from doing what they are supposed to do. They can only give us what? Carrots, peanuts. Which they celebrate. They think they have done everything.
Comrade, your last word.
The president said the money they have been able to recuperate from adding more pins and pans to our life by the so-called subsidy is gone. He said most of that money was sent to them at the state level. And we should go and face our governors. Where are the monies? You understand?
Yes.
2.5 years.
I want you to react to that.
Yes.
Just a minute. Suffering the so-called subsidy is gone. And I keep on asking people, have you seen governor, minister, or what have you going to petrol station to buy food?
No.
That pay for fuel.
I don't see
their
that.
own supply direct first line. These are part of excessive cost of governance. Let's reduce all these overlapping ministries. Like now, National Assembly, we're supposed not to have a camera National Assembly. For me, House of Reps is enough. Council the Senate, what are they doing there? They are just sharing money. Humongous allowances, wardrobe allowances, and some others. Let's use all this money for the development of the people, construction, better school for people, and jobs for people. Because if people are not having jobs, there will be criminals and bandits in large number.
Recently, the presidency told us that they have increased their allocation to the various state governors. What are the various state governors now doing with this increased allocation? Because rather than us seeing this in reality, rather things are getting worse. Or do we now call the presidency to now withdraw that increased allocation?
No, it's actually
the Yoruba will say if the mouse cannot give
you see the truth of the matter.
No, we must maybe comrade will go on the streets and begin to advocate that the presidency should withdraw the excess allocation. And now do it direct to the people.
I wouldn't say you should do that.
And then what do you want us to do?
It's actually a federal structure. And many times, truly, sometimes it's not. We need to also sympathize with the president because it's not easy to be.
No, I have no problem. I'm coming. Time is not on our side.
What I'm trying to say is that many times we look at the center.
No, we are not looking at the governor now.
I think we must begin to
president say they are giving them money
accountable. Okay, look at what they are doing also with the local government. Local government autonomy. What are the local governments doing? I asked someone. He said the only time I remember the local governments exist is when they come to harass shop owners for tenement rate. People must hold their councillors, their chairmen, their governors responsible.
Yes.
It's not just the president.
Yes, now.
Is that what I'm saying?
What do we do with the governors that have excess money?
It's all them responsible. Put the pressure on them. We have done what else? Please, we are just talking about Ogun State government.
We are marching there.
Yeah. No. It's beyond matching. Beyond matching there. You cannot match there every day. You understand what I'm saying? You need to be able to orientate people to make demands of their governors. Let them put pressure on them on social media. Let them call them out. Let people like us here, people like me. Let us orientate the people that look, your governors are there because you voted them in. They are your servants. They are your employees. You must hold them responsible, and you must be ready to sack them in the next election, if they don't perform well,
yes.
don't collect money, all these 20,000, 30,000 that are given to go and snatch ballots and all of those things. Yes. Don't collect. You must sack an underperforming staff must be sacked.
End of discussion.
So sack them.
End of discussion.
Sack them and vote somebody else in.
And end of discussion. I'm sure you heard what our guests have said today. Sack these governors that have not developed your communities. The presidency or the federal government has given all these governors money. If any one of them have not gotten any money that the federal government has said he has given them, let them come out and say it. Then we'll now face the federal government. They have given them money. Rather, you see them junketing all over the world. Imagine they're sponsoring the wives of local government. They are sponsoring some people who not only within Nigeria, outside Nigeria, wasting this money that ought to be used to develop your community, providing drugs in the dispensaries and health centers, ensuring that the roads are good, ensuring that there is money to pay for our lecturers that are now on strike, just wasting money on frivolities. The time has come for us to wake up. Anyway, maybe the death of Comrade Remsen is even triggering this thing up, because we can't continue on this road. Anyway, that is the program for today. I hope I'll be able to get this our panel next week. Then we'll dig deeper into this issue of high cost of governance. Because it's not only in Nigeria that we have government now. Every day we hear issues about sleaze, issues about stealing, not in 2,000 naira, in millions of naira. Haba! Don't they have conscience? But if their conscience is lost, we the people should not keep quiet anymore. We should ensure that we ask for good governance, reduction in the cost of governance. Mr. Paul Dada, we want to thank you for coming. Comrade Afolabi, Dr.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.